So basically, this is a presentation that we use a lot um, for introducing Las Vegas to people that haven't been here before. It's why teach Vegas, basically. So you can see here a picture of the three of the recruiters. So my picture, my contact email is right here. So I worked for the district for about just 2 years, 2 years. I'm a recruitment specialist. And we not only hire teachers, obviously that's the main goal in this case with your education majors, but we hire for everything else. Just recently I posted something for a director of compensations, for example. So it gives you an idea of that there could be a career path for each and every one of your students. It is not just the being a teacher. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine as well, and move along the ranks and the salaries within being a teacher, obviously. But there's also a career path a lot of people don't know where you can become a principal, for example, after having 5 years of work experience. So I'll go on with the presentation, but at any point, I think the best way is to reach me via email, because I'm obviously always on the computer, so I can answer anyone's questions regarding a particular position. Even if I don't know the answer, I'll research it and get back to you guys. So again, my name is Olga Mares, and my email is right here on the screen, if you guys can see it. So it's mareso@mv.ccsd.net. So why teach Vegas? Well, we have reason number 10. We have 10 different reasons, basically. So we love, and I've lived in Vegas for over 20 years. So I never thought I'd stay here this long, but I love the location. So for those of you that, you want to still be nearby, near California, obviously you are, 4 hours away from San Diego. And right here in Vegas, there are amazing places where you can ski. A lot of people don't know that you can ski, but it's called Mount Charleston. The weather's actually about 20 degrees less. And so you have that, and a lot of the locals skate there in the summertime. We go there also throughout the year. It's open, and they have a lodge, they have a restaurant where you can sit outside and look at the hummingbirds and just kind of get some fresh air. And it is really, really pretty. And then Red Rock is my favorite place. And you can rock climb, you can bike ride, all kinds of activities that you can do over there. So our location, we also have a tight-knit community. We're like a large city, but it's in reality, it feels like it's very small to go from one end to the other, probably about a commute of 45 minutes. And as you can see, I don't have any photos of the Strip because a lot of people that have come here, they're pretty familiar with the Strip, but they are not aware that there's a really big community. We do events with the teachers, whether you go hiking together, whether you go visit the Neon Museum, which is super duper cool if you haven't checked it out. I think they recently had an exhibit with Tim Burton's characters kind of thing, and they had that in there. We have the Smiths Center for the Performing Arts, and I was lucky enough to see Hamilton. When was that? Maybe about 6 months ago. So there's a lot of things that you can do as a community in Las Vegas. If you want more information about the teacher exchange, the photo that you see here in the middle, it's a pretty unique place where teachers, they can get a hold of some of the leftover whether it's pens, paper, anything that comes back after a show has ended in one of the casinos. We get some of that stuff back, mainly supplies that teachers can utilize in the classroom. Our elementary schools, we have 227, but probably we're a little bit higher there. I think we opened up 2 new ones this year so far. And if you want more information about our schools, I'll be happy to email you some info regarding the different schools that got rated 5-star and 4 stars. We're really proud of how well some of our schools have done in the last year. Same goes for the middle schools. We have 59, and our high schools. So all of them were rated, and we have a lot of them that got these amazing grades, especially the ones that are career and technical academies. They offer so much for the students, whether it's learning how to become a chef, like with the cooking, aerodynamics, whether it's, technology-wise, automotive. There's all kinds of careers that kids can choose. And excuse me, obviously opportunities for these teachers to teach some of these unique classes, kind of a niche, if you will. Actually, one of our recruiters went to Las Vegas Academy, and you see the photo in here. So that's one of the top schools in Vegas as well, or high schools. Some of the schools have a program as well that they gain credits while they're in high school in order to be able to become teachers. So we're really proud of that too. This I'm going to go really briefly because this is a program that we're really proud of, and it's an alternative route. And this is for students. I know this is geared mainly for education students, but if you have friends that have a bachelor's degree in an area outside of education and they want to be in the classroom, this is an excellent opportunity. You have to have a BA in any subject to be able to enroll in this. And for more information, I'm going to point you guys to our website, which is www.teach.vegas, or just type it in, Google search teach.vegas. If you click on the ALTA tab, you guys are going to be able to complete a quick interest form, and this is going to give you access to a specific webinar just for ALTA. In a nutshell, the ALTA program takes probably about 2 to 3 years. Why is it that long? Because the first 20 days, you're going to be in the classroom getting student teaching, but then you can have to complete a set of coursework in order to get your your license. So you get a temporary license after 20 days, you can look for work, but then you have the extra time to complete a set of coursework. Moving on, we have another reason for you guys to come and work in Vegas with CCSD is the opportunities. As I mentioned earlier, and this probably makes more sense in these, sets of titles in here is the career path. You can either, if you get a master's degree, you can make more money. Also, if you want to become a principal, assistant principal, the career path is there as well. The fringe, this is outside of my area, but this kind of gives you an idea of a lot of the students start at $41,863. Now, I know that the salaries over there are way, much higher, but why? Because buying a home over there is going to be a lot more expensive than buying a home here in Nevada. So the cost of living here is a lot less. And for the youngsters, they probably don't really think about pension plans, but it's important to tell them that it's almost, a little bit over 29% of their salary that's going to go towards their retirement, which is amazing. We also, for those that already have an experience in teaching, a lot of times we match those salaries here at CCSD. So good information to have also to pass along to your friends. Again, just examples of some of the costs of living. You're well aware that it is a bit or a lot less here than in some other larger states. We don't have no state income tax. Growth and support is part of what I was talking about earlier. We do offer, when you first come in the first 2 years, there's mentorships, symposiums, onboarding programs. Really excited about when we get a group of new teachers, because we have a kickoff usually in August. I don't know what's going to happen this year, obviously, but we have a kickoff, and then we get to meet all these new teachers that we were in touch with, and then we help them along the application process. So another reason is the people, obviously all 320,000 plus kids that we have, and that's included within the people, as well as our superintendent, Dr. Jara. And the reason number one is the students, of course. We're here for them. We want to make sure that they graduate, that the rate of graduation goes up, and which it has every year here in Nevada. And we have probably these numbers that you see right here. We're probably, every day there's probably a new student or more. I don't have the data on how many people move from other states to Vegas, but this is growing every day. So what's next? Let's say that you guys have thought, oh yeah, Vegas is a good place for me to move to. I'm excited about the possibility. In order to be considered, you would have to complete our online application at teach.vegas. This is where you're going to find a tab that will say license positions. You have to click on that tab and then complete the application itself in order to be considered. A couple of items that are super important so you don't get eliminated right away. Things that our analysts are looking for is your 7-year work history. We need your updated resume uploaded. References. If you don't want us to call, if you're working somewhere, you don't want us to call a current employer, you can just notate that and they won't contact them until you're recommended for hire. If you have a license, you can upload that license. And of course, if you're a student, just put in your 7-year work history, including any gaps, resumes, any maybe evaluations that you've gotten before. That really helps out because it speaks of your character. Letters of recommendation, not necessary, but some people like to add those there. But I think evaluations will speak a little bit more towards who you are and what you've done and your performance and all that. So the applications is number one. It's kind of hard to put a time frame on the application process, but typically our analysts will review your application. If you meet all the basic requirements, it will be viewable to principals. And if they are interested, they will contact you to schedule a Skype interview or, maybe use another tool, I don't know, but you don't have to be present here in Nevada in order to complete an interview. So that's kind of the process in a nutshell. Again, any questions that pop in your head or while you think about it, email me and we can discuss, if you have a particular situation. A lot of times there's questions about the licensing process, and that's a separate entity, which is the Department of Education. But if that's the case, I can give you contact information for the Department of Education and kind of guide you in the right direction if there's any questions that come up like that. So yeah, basically it's just kind of getting people excited about working here. That's something that they want to try out. I always tell people, this is not like you have to be here forever. A lot of kids like to travel. You could be here for a year or two. If it's not for you, you go to another state. So yeah, it just kind of depends on what you think you want to do. If you want a little bit of an adventure, and Las Vegas is a great place to be at. I was going to leave years ago, but I just love how we get reinvented all the time. And that's just something that got me hooked. And like I said, the standard of living and everything else. So, and the proximity to California, because who doesn't love California? I love going there whenever I can. So, yeah, so any questions, you've got my contact info and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks a lot, Olga. We really appreciated it. And actually, you answered the one question that I had, which was credentialing, because all of our students, when we go through this program, the MAT program, we are all credentialed, single subject, multiple subjects. They're all California credentialed. So I'm assuming that would be some sort of adding like Nevada teaching credentials to that, correct?
Yeah, they go through the Nevada Department of Education and we have what's called reciprocity. For those that have a license and those that don't, there's no problem. They just, one more item that I forgot to mention that's really important, because what the Department of Education looks for in order to give you a license is that you have the bachelor's in education and that you have done student teaching. Some people don't have the student teaching portion. So I always recommend, well, before you move all the way up here, make sure that you get it through your school. So yeah, you gotta have the student teaching and the bachelor's. And then, yeah, I've never heard of any issues of, anybody trying to get the Nevada license. And typically kids get it once they're recommended for hire, not before.
So we all are masters of teaching.
Yep.
they all have to go through the student teaching process
Perfect.
to be qualified for graduation. So, you know, they all have, our master students all have that experience.
Perfect.
So I don't think that would be question of qualification, but the only thing would be that they are all California credentialed. So
Yeah,
I guess that would be, okay.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Yeah, unless it's some strange, you know, situation. But we can always look into that and get the Department of Education involved. So yeah.
So based on your experience, that's not such a complicated.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any complications at all.
Okay, sounds great.
Yeah.
And Erlis, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I had a quick question.
Hi, Erlis.
Olga, my name is Erlis Murph. I'm an academic advisor with the MAT program.
Nice meeting you.
A lot of the students that we work with, or some of the students that we work with, are also getting a dual credential in special education, educational specialist, as well as a certificate, gifted certificate. So a question that we get a lot from students is, do these additional credentials and certificates make them more marketable with your school districts? Does it matter? How do you feel about students that come in with an additional SPED credential or gifted certificate?
That sounds more also like an endorsement question as far as, you know, the Department of Education goes but from what I've seen, the endorsement allows them to pick and choose where they want to be, you know, whether they want to go into special ed, whether they want to do elementary. So I think the way to explain this is that it opens more doors, right? Maybe not necessarily, I mean, it could be salary down the road, but I wouldn't want to jump and say that because I don't work with the compensation department or anything like that. And as far as I know, they all start at the same salary when it's a first-time teacher. And I haven't heard of anything different than that. Whether you come with a master's or a bachelor's, you all start at the same. You can accrue or make more money if you get your CUs done. But I think, like I said, the best way to explain that is, you know, it'll open more doors for you. Whether do you like working with special ed? Do you want to work with, you know, just the general elementary classroom? Do you want to work with, you know, fifth grade? Whatever it is that you want to work with. So I think, yeah, it gives them more opportunities, more applications that they can put in at different schools, depending what the principal's looking for. So yeah, I think it's a great thing.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Nice meeting you.
I don't think I can think of anything else or other questions. This session is recorded and this will be posted in our Rossio Career Network, and the students will have the opportunity to view this on their own time, and they have your contact, so they will be reaching out with further questions in regards to their applications or further questions about the district.
Awesome. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I've only been to your university once for a education fair. Like I said, I've only been here for 2 years, but you know, look forward to attending hopefully next year. You know.
Yes, we all hope so that's going to happen.
Yes, it will. We'll get out of this, but thanks for this. This is really, I'm sure, pretty helpful for the students. So appreciate it.
We hope so too. Thank you very much, Olga, for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks. So nice meeting you guys.
Nice meeting you too as well. Thanks.
Thank you.